ways to look at artificial intelligence. Though it is giving us the problem, it is also providing us the solution. There are softwares which are filtering out the deep fakes and the sources from where the fake newses are being initiated. So we can track them down, and according to our IT Act 2001, we can curb them.
Um, Suppose Ayushman Bharat Yojana, if you are a PRO for the government, how you can do the branding and advertisement of this scheme?
The first step for branding and advertising is figuring out who is my target audience. I'll figure that thing out first. Second thing, the channel through which I can reach out to them. Merely creating a scheme is not enough until and unless it is reaching out to the target audience effectively and efficiently. I will try to reach out to people with the medium they connect to the most. Let it be newspaper or let it be through influencer marketing, and I'll try to listen out to their concerns regarding the scheme. Even after explaining it to them, if they have some doubts, how to reach out and how to like materialize that scheme, will keep an open-ending conversation with them, with the public.
You know, the founder asked you a question on the emulation at Baraso, FM College Baraso. And you mentioned that, you'll empathize and immediately, you'll try to defend the position of the victim. To the audience. How do you do that? Would you undertake basic information check? Do you do some kind of an investigation before reacting to the public, or you will react immediately?
Definitely not, sir. I'll take a step back.
Hmm.
I will do a background check. What have been done
Like
so
like
far?
what? What kind of investigation you will do?
First, I would try to investigate the concerned members of the ICC who have received an official complaint
Okay.
from the girl. Second, we'll try to track down the social media pages or the sites through X she had reached out to the concerned authorities.
Okay.
We try to track down those posts
Okay.
from the backdates to
Okay.
see the authenticity of the claim that is being made.
Okay.
After gathering all the information,
Would you like to also see whether they conducted an investigation?
yes, sir.
And there is a certain guideline for this. The Supreme Court has issued some guidelines. What is that kind of guideline? The Supreme Court has issued, government has also issued certain guidelines. That whenever there is
Any rules for sexual harassment in
Sexual
the
harassment.
workplace?
Sexual
Any
harassment.
guidelines?
Any harassment in public place for women, there is a certain guideline.
Yes, sir. POSH. Under the POSH, there
No,
is.
it is the Visakha guideline.
Okay, sorry.
Just keep that in mind. Visakha guideline. So therefore, the first thing that you should, the second thing that you said is very nice. That you check up all the media posts and all, verify whether there were the formal complaints or not. But more importantly, when was the complaint lodged, and whether any follow-up action was taken by the college. That is the first thing. So that most important thing for the PRO is to be completely aware of the truth. You should be armed with the truth. What you reveal to your audience is a different thing. And get my point. It is not as if that you will say to the audience that no, I have investigated and they have done nothing. No. But first thing for a PRO is that you must know the truth first. So this is what we call as investigative journalism. The hallmark of good journalism is investigation, and after basic investigation, once you know the truth, then you have to say that, well, we have to look into all this, but you have a genuine relevance. But this has to be seen whether the procedures have been followed. You don't have to tell them, no, I have checked it up, but you know for yourself whether the due process has been followed or not, you know. So that will carry a lot of credibility.
Definitely.
He mentioned about this scheme. Now, supposing somebody asks you that this present government has introduced the Subhadra scheme.
Yes.
Okay, how is the scheme doing? Do you think that this particular scheme is really helping them for women empowerment, or essentially government is giving money for getting votes from women? Supposing this kind of a question comes to you, so how do you answer that? Are you getting me? Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to answer it?
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
of course. Otherwise, why should I ask you?
No, I was just asking whether you want the approach or the answer.
Both.
Okay,
Both.
my approach will be, first approach will be to defend the scheme,
Okay.
to look at the positive side of it,
Okay.
how it is empowering the women, how
Okay.
it is making them come to the bank, and how it is making them financially able,
Okay.
and what more can be done in respect to with the background check, because it is also coming to the news that a lot of people who are getting money from under this scheme, they are really not eligible.
Yes.
So a thorough background check in a regular basis is needed. That can be my point of addition.
So one is, of course, you'll find out whether there have been any fake cases, but I'm talking of the impact of it. Of women empowerment. You have not answered that point.
Yeah, it is definitely making women self-sufficient in terms of, if we are getting, even the amount is 10,000 per year, but it is making the woman feel empowered that with that 10,000 I can do something. Let it be a small thing. Let it be buying something for my own house, but
Okay.
that is my money.
Okay.
With my money, the sense of accomplishment comes.
Women gets empowered only when they have a long-term source of employment, not getting 5,000 or 10,000. Like for instance, you are applied for the job because you want to have a job so that it leads to your empowerment. Empowerment is not that somebody has given you 5,000, 10,000. So basically, the whole issue is whether this kind of a money would be sufficient or would be a good trigger for them to start an investment so that they can stand on their own. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So one of the criticisms of this particular scheme is that possibly it will not really lead to women empowerment. It is helping them because most of them are very poor. From the brinks of poverty, they are able to come out. It's a big source of help for them. But the objective of Swadra is not that only. It also looks at empowerment. So therefore, when you are a PRO, you are not only a bridge between people and the government. You are also a bridge between government, people, and political parties. Remember, there are also political parties. One is government, the other is political parties. Because who are not basically people, they are critics of the government. And also there is an administration, there is a collector. Because you are the nodal point. Please remember that.
Yeah.
Because the moment you make some statement which is, say, against the apathy of the administration, say for instance you say that the collector could have done that, or the SP could have done that, then you are actually, so therefore it is a very delicate balancing act. How do you do that? Being truthful, being objective. So therefore you have to be very, very careful in your communication. That's the point I wanted to tell you. So communication becomes very important. How you communicate. So first is you have to know the truth and then do a balancing act where you are not seen to be, parroting the voice of the government in power or administration power. So therefore basically people respect you for your views. That's the most important thing.
Okay, so one question from my side. Do you think that we are spending much more money in advertisement and hoarding, where crores of rupees are we are spending just for wishing purpose or these things. And I see many places it is written I and PR department, and they are spending crores of rupees only for wishing happy Rath Yatra and these things. This is, do you think that these are waste of money?
Hoarding is the mode of letting people know of our presence. So, continuous insertion of narrative is really important. So, I cannot outrightly say this is wastage of money, but if you wanna ask me if we can utilize this money to reach out to people in a better way, we are already doing it. Apart from coding, we are reaching out to people through influencers, through digital marketing, through other modes as well. But it is also a needed step that the government is taking to let people know of their presence, and wishing them is making people feel more connected with the government, that they are concerned, yeah, they are more rooted in terms of wishing Rath Yatra, wishing Raja Parva. So it helps.
One more last question. You know, today, as you know, the social media is very active. We have a national news channel or regular news channels, and so they basically give a particular viewpoint. Most of them almost give a viewpoint which is pro government. On the other hand, you have a clearly contrarian viewpoint by an alternative social media. So if you have to, you know, how to balance it? You know, when you speak or when you speak about any particular event, like the evolution that you mentioned, like government programs that we are talking of, there are many all kinds of national issues, international issues. Say, for instance, people expect that the Prime Minister should respond to every national issues. So it's not possible. Why is the Prime Minister not speaking on Manipur? Why is he not going? So therefore, the short point is that we live in an age where there are two contrarian viewpoints which are simultaneously at play. Now, as the PRO, how do you just endorse the official media, official or the regular channel, or you also try to factor in the viewpoints of the social media? How do you do that? And how will you articulate your view?
I'll start with staying true to the context.
Okay.
Whatever the context is demanding from me, I'll try not to insert my personal opinion into it.
Okay.
I'll try to be very neutral. Let it be from. I'm just citing an example with layman term. If it is left wing or right wing, I'll not try to
take an ideological stand.
Take an ideological stand and try to stay neutral to the context.
What do you call that? What do you call that? Since you have said left and right, what is a neutral stand called in terms of political science or journalism? Whether you are a leftist or a rightist, there is a middle path. What would they call them?
I'm not being able to remember that.
Liberals.
Liberals.
So I take, because we are part of a democracy, I take a liberal democratic. So how you become a liberal democrat is the test of the time. Is the test. Are you remember this? So that is the hallmark. And as they say, dissent is the essence of democracy. When somebody responsible dissent is the essence of democracy. So if somebody is just critical, for the sake of it, you don't look at that. But if there is a criticism which is responsible, which is factual, you have to check up the facts. So give a very balanced position.
Okay, so your hobby is traveling, exploring new avenues. So from traveling, the places you travel, what you learned new from that area?
One thing I would like to mention which stayed with me when I had visited Meghalaya and I visited the cleanest village there, Modena. The village is it is possible to attain that status because I witnessed little students after coming back from school, they're picking up the trashes and they're carrying it back with them without anyone instructing them or telling them to do it. So it really stayed with me that a small action which can be converted into such a big phenomena to make the village to give it that status. So yeah, that is one thing
Wonderful,
that have
very
stayed
wonderful.
with me.
Wonderful.
So Swachh Bharat Mission you told, na?
Yeah.
So if you want to branding Swachh Bharat Mission, so if you give some impressive and attractive tagline, so can you imagine some tagline for Swachh Bharat Mission? How we can convert a general initiative or schemes to a mass movement like Swachh Bharat?
Swachh Bharat movement is the standing example of how what you narrated right now to make make a scheme of phenomena. When it was launched in 2014, nobody had really thought it will be so seamlessly incorporated into our minds with changing of narratives. Just a small thing. How initially we used to call them Odia Wala. Now it has changed to Safai Wala. That continuous feeding of positive narrative has helped us to change even our day-to-day conversations. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
One last thing I thought to mention because you are a very bright girl, you know. Since we are talking of narratives, I do find that in the international press or in most of the international reports are very critical of India. You look at most of the Human Development Report, Gender Development Report, Global Hunger Index. So there's a lot of criticism of India, you know. Even in the Operation Sindoor, which was conducted, so the foreign press was not particularly complimentary to India. So supposing you are asked to make an assessment of the whole thing, because people think that whatever the foreign media is telling could be the truth, could be the truth. So how do you um, communicate on this, on the negative narrative, not of irresponsible critics, but international media, which like BBC and all, which have normally have a very high degree of credibility. How do you do that?
We'll start from we'll not try to negate the narratives just by defending ourselves.
Okay.
We'll try to do that by inserting positive narratives about us
Okay.
to establish in a global forum what we are achieving on a daily basis.
Okay.
Let it be our astronauts ones who going to the space and conducting the experiments which will make us more able. We can broadcast our positive achievements slowly to change that narrative because I believe narrative is not generated overnight. It is a continuous and slow process. So we have to be very patient and very strategic in our approach to change and alter that narrative in global forum.
Last question. There is a bit of a narrative that there is a certain amount of communalization which is taking place in India. There is some kind of a communal divide which is being encouraged. How do you respond to that? How do you respond to that?
India is a country of unity amongst division. We cannot negate the fact that we are divided in so many levels in basis of linguistic, in basis of religion, in basis of everything. Even Odisha itself, we speak more than 20 languages.
Okay.
So we cannot negate that factor.
Mhm.
What we can do, is we can try to approach to build the narrative of what is keeping us hooked, what is keeping us united, what has kept us united for so long. So we can emphasize on those factors.
And so, would you think that secularism is a very important concept for uniting people? Because there is also a narrative that why should secularism be part of the preamble to the Indian Constitution? We don't require us to, and many people feel that this whole tag of secularism is essentially to favor the minority community. There's an open discussion. Today it's a free society, and you find many posts saying that we have been promoting the minority to the detriment of the majority. How do you handle that? Do you think? I mean, to put the question very firmly, do you think that secularism is a very important construct of our country?
Yes, definitely. Secularism is the founding stone of Indian preamble, so we cannot discard it. So yeah, secularism is really important. Yeah.
सो ठीक अच्छे हम 23 तारीख अच्छे ना
22 तारीख अछि.
22 तारीख
So we will certainly make it. So all the best to you. So just remain steady. The current
Some feedbacks.
No, you are a very bright girl. There is absolutely no doubt about that. You are a bright girl. You are also quite cheerful. You do not look nervous at all. So you are very cheerful, very composed. You come across as somebody who is very genuine, very honest, not superficial. The only thing I would say that look at the current events little carefully, read about them, and build up a credential that you are truly a liberal Indian. That's very important because party may come, party may go, but we as civil servants must appear to be very neutral, secular, and objective. So keep that in mind all the time. Secular, liberal, and objective. You are not playing to any party. You have no agenda. But so how communication can be an effective skill is the challenge. We all know the facts, but how do you communicate? That's also very important.
ठीक अच्छे